hope you're well. I don't know where the weather's gone. We've had some really lovely weather over the last couple of weeks, and now it's just disappeared, which is a real shame. Bit of a weird one today. I've got work, so I've just dropped the kids off to school, but actually I've got like my boss's boss is leaving. It's their retirement today, so it's their last day for the company I work for, and they've got like sort of halfway through the day, we've got like sort of tea and cake to say goodbye. But I've actually I feel really quite privileged, but I've been invited to the after party. You got to remember, this is like my boss's boss, and I've been invited, so I feel really quite privileged. But then at the same time, I felt really nervous about what I was going to wear. Now, due to the weather today being so bad, I've decided not to ride the motorbike. So I'm in my mum's car. So my mum and her husband, they live in Turkey for so many months of the year. So when they're not in Turkey, they leave me the car, which is fantastic because I can use it like on days like today where the weather's not great, instead of having to cycle or use my motorbike. But I'll come back to the point. But this morning I was having a real dilemma of what to wear. And I was in like a real trouble. I was like, what am I going to wear? Because I don't want to appear too casual. If I go on my motorbike, I'm going to have to wear it's going to have to be armoured clothing. And my armoured clothing is like jeans, my trainer boots, and a bomber jacket. And I thought, that's going to be too casual. So thankfully, actually, with the weather being like it is and being a little bit, I think it's about to drizzle. It's actually forced me to go, actually, I think you'll have to take the car and you can go somewhat a little bit more formal, not too much. So I've kind of gone with, I managed to dig my Chelsea boots out from back of the cupboard. It feels like a wintry jacket, but actually it's just a nice sort of fleece jacket and just a plain t-shirt and jeans. So hopefully I won't feel overdressed and I won't feel underdressed, because I'm just really conscious. I'm not really sure what the vibe's like. There was no sort of brief. So I don't think anyone's going to be wearing tuxedos. If we get there and everyone's wearing tuxes, we're in trouble. That shouldn't be the case because it's on a farm. So yeah, it's quite a strange one. But I feel really privileged to be invited to my boss's boss is retirement due, and there's only a select group of us that are going. But yeah, work first. Let's get through the day, and then I'll have it this evening, and then hopefully, if I get a chance this evening, I'd really like to see if I can try and get to the gym. But that all depends on what time we get back from the after party. It's not supposed to finish late, but it's just we'll have to see by the time I get back. But let's see how the day goes. So, what a lovely day that was. I only spent a couple hours at work this morning before then heading over to where the sort of retirement do was, and it was quite emotional. There was a lot of people there. This person had, worked for the organisation I worked for many years, dedicated a lot of their time, and you can just see the impact that this was having on them retiring. And I will admit, there were times where I was kind of looking around the room and seeing other people there and thinking, I don't know sure where I fit in. In terms, like I talked about, it was like my boss's boss was retiring, and I felt a little bit out of place, considering that their boss and their boss's boss were also there. So like, it was just really quite, my dog's doing a poo, hang on. So I was saying, like, I didn't really know where my place was in that, generally because I kind of felt like I wasn't sure what my worth was. Why was I there? Why was I kind of invited? And then to get invited to the after party as well, kind of that was, this morning I woke up with a little bit of stress of thinking, what am I going to wear? And some of that sort of like, whilst some would say as a bloke, just put your clothes on, just go to wear, whatever you want to go wear. But actually, there are a lot of us that are generally very, very conscious of what what's our value in life, what do we bring, what do people think of us, what's our reputation, what's our status. It's a big thing as a man. And so for but even getting to the after party, the private little shindig, there were some comments being made by my boss's boss, the people who were there for, and the kind of even people above them that said, actually, like, there's a reason why you're here. It's because of actually what you bring to to your organisation, but also just actually the values you hold. And for me, actually, I spent a bit of time in that, that I do, mainly looking forward to the food coming out, because that was where I could relax, because I was thinking that's what I'm good at, eating. And that's what I enjoy, and it makes me feel relaxed. And actually, I got to a point where I was kind of just gelling with the people that were communicating, and just gelling and just talking. And these people are really high up in the organisation I work for, and those feelings of being unworthy did subside. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not saying that's them gone forever, but they did subside for this evening, and I was able to relax and enjoy myself, and actually kind of know that actually there's a reason why I was here. It's because of the value that I bring as a human being, not really necessarily as a worker. But it was a strange one, but it was kind of reminding myself that actually there is value you bring to yourself, there is value you bring to other people, there is value you bring to your organisation, and just remembering really that it's kind of, we are just human beings. And so that was quite a different experience tonight, to really trying to challenge my own inner thought process around my value and what I am as a human being. So that's it for, I'm not really sure what to call a vlog, an episode. I'm not really sure what to call them, but that's it for today. It's not too long, it's just a little snippet into my life, and a little snippet into kind of the thoughts that all men, I think, go through. A lot of times I think a lot of people think this is just women that think about worrying about what to wear, what's people going to think of them. But actually, as a man, it's something that I consciously think about. It's what people think of me. What's my value? What's my status? What do people, and what worth do I bring? And today is, it was a kind of reminder actually that I do bring a lot, and I am worth it, and I am worthy. And yeah, so like I said, I'm not really sure what to call these episodes. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, I'm not here to ask for likes and subscribe. I'm not going to shout down. This is not shouty content. This is just life, and hopefully I bring value to you by watching this. That's the point, is not to scream out for content and scream out for likes and subscribes. If you enjoy this and it brings value to you and it helps you or whatever, or it helps you think a little bit better, then that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve with these vlogs. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Cheers. soon.